Hello, I wanted to make a quick video talking a little bit about my spinal cord injury, what happened in my accident, and my progress from the date of my accident to today, roughly, kind of an estimate. I do apologize about the quality of this. It is on my iPad because my digital camera has to have a special SD card that I do not have, and I wanted to make this video as soon as I could, so that's why it's crappy quality. Like I said, my name is Sabrina. I'm 20 years old, and my accident happened on June 13th, 2012. What happened is I was on my way to work, and I was driving the country roads. I don't remember, but I say I was probably going like 60 or 65. And what happened is an animal ran out in front of me, and instinct told me to swerve, so I did. When I swerved, I obviously swerved this way, and both my sides were really steep ditches, and I knew I didn't want to go on that because I had just bought my Blazer, and I wrecked my car. I had wrecked another car like 5 months before that, so I knew I didn't want to damage it in that way. So my other instinct told me just to overcorrect and kind of shoot off to the other side of the road, and hopefully I could have corrected it and kept going. Well, that didn't happen. My car shot off into the other lane, and I don't really remember exactly what happened, but what I remember after knowing that I went to the other side of the road was I remember looking down and seeing like a culvert to someone's driveway, and then I just remember it was like black. I don't remember a lot, and then I remember stopping. I didn't realize I had rolled, as silly as that sounds. I'm sure you're probably thinking, how did you not know that you just rolled your car? I knew that I had wrecked, but, and I knew that I was hurt, but I didn't know the extent. So what I tried doing was yelling for help. I landed on the roof of my car, so I was pinned into my car by my seatbelt, which I'll get to that in a second, and I couldn't get out, and I couldn't find my cell phone because usually I kept it in the cup holder, and obviously during the car accident it had flown out, so the only thing I knew how to do was yell for help. And like I said, my lung had collapsed, so I didn't have the air to yell. And I noticed 2 or 3 cars had went by, and they obviously couldn't hear me if they're driving, yelling for help. So I started honking the horn to my Blazer, and someone finally stopped and called 911 and stayed with me until the paramedics and EMT got there. One thing I kind of want to touch on before I get into what happened when the EMT and stuff got there, I had just bought my Blazer, like I said. I'd only made 1 car payment on it, and I had trouble with it from the very beginning, for it not running right and not being a very good car for me. But I had to take out a loan on it because I obviously didn't have any money saved up, and it was my only means of transportation because I had an hour commute one way to work, and I had to have this car. So the weird thing about it is I never wore my seatbelt, and I know that's bad. I know you're supposed to wear it, but I hated the way it made me feel. It was really uncomfortable to me, and I never wore it. But my Blazer had one of those dingy light things, and it made a really annoying sound, and I hated that sound. So that day I remember putting on my seatbelt. Obviously it helped me, it saved my life, but I don't really remember a lot about that morning, or even the night before. I don't really remember a lot of my accident or the first 9 days I was in the hospital because I was on so much medication, and I think my mind kind of blocked it out because it was so traumatic. But once the EMT got there, they sent a sheriff, and he kneeled down and was like, I just want to make sure that you were wearing your seatbelt. And at this point I had taken my seatbelt off because what I was hoping that I could do was slide out with my seatbelt, because the way my car was angled was at an angle, and I thought I could slide out and kind of crawl through the driver's side window, but the steering wheel had pinned down on my legs, so I wasn't able to do that. So they had an EMT sit. She crawled in through the back window. She held my head up and put a little cone around my neck to kind of help stabilize my neck, because my ex-boyfriend had bought me this stuffed animal, and it was in my car, and I was using it to hold my head up. because I was so weak that I couldn't hold my own head up, and it caught fire. I actually have it somewhere, and you can see like where it caught fire. My hair caught fire from the dome light, so they had to pull that. They also had a firefighter EMT guy come in, and he came in front of me like this. They put a sheet over me because all my windows had busted out, so they wanted to make sure that I didn't get any glass in my eyes. I did stay conscious through my accident, but like I said, I don't remember a lot of it, and I think once help got there, I kind of blacked out a little bit because I knew I was going to be okay, and they had difficulties getting me out of my car because of the way my Blazer was pinned. I was in someone's front yard in like a ditch, and my Blazer was kind of sitting like this is where I was at. So they had to stabilize my vehicle, cut my driver's side door off, and pull me out feet first. And at this point, they had no idea what injuries I had. I did complain a lot of my legs feeling swollen. I know I was in a lot of pain because I kept asking for pain medicine, and I kept being like, can you please get me out of here? I'm in a lot of pain. I need something. I'm hurting. I was getting very, very angry because I was sick of being in my car. I was so uncomfortable. But once they got me out, it was so weird because they pulled me out, and like there's thousands, well, it seems like thousands. There's probably like 10 people standing around saying, you know, my name is so-and-so. I'm with the firefighter EMT squad, and blah, blah, blah. They took me to the ambulance. Once they got me into the ambulance, my uncle had already arrived in the scene, and because my dad's a truck driver and my mom lived in Tennessee, well, she lives in Tennessee now, so she lived about 4 to 5 hours away from me. My sister was at work, so my uncle, they notified my family, obviously. My dad called my uncle and said, you need to go, because I work like 5 miles from my house. So my uncle came. Once I got in the ambulance, my dad had called and wanted to talk to me, so I got to talk to my dad, and I got to tell him that I was okay and that I was going to be fine. I didn't realize how badly I was hurt, so my body was still kind of in shock, so I really didn't feel a lot of pain, but they did know that I couldn't feel from my hips down at that point, so I just told them, you know, I'm going to be okay. I'll see you when I get here, but I'm going to be fine. Once they realized, they did like some tests and stuff and wrote on my legs and said, you know, you can't feel. So they lifelined me. Once I got into the lifeline helicopter thing, I ended up passing out because they gave me morphine in the ambulance to try to help my pain, which it didn't. And they knew I didn't have any head injuries, thank the Lord. So they went ahead and let me sleep. Once we got to the hospital, it wasn't the hospital they told me I was going to be at. It was another hospital, and they already notified my family, so they obviously took me straight into emergency. It was just like in the movies, I kid you not. I was laying on like one of those roller bed things, and they had oxygen on me because my lung had collapsed, and they were giving me lots of pain medicine, and there was 5 or 6, 10 people, I don't know, around me, shouting all different kind of things. And once my family got there, they went over the x-rays. I had to go into like a full body MRI, and I remember the lady was like, you have broken your back, you are going to be paralyzed for an indefinite amount of time, and you may never walk again. And I remember tearing up. I remember being very angry, more so scared than anything at this point, because I hadn't been around my family or anything like that. So once we kind of got everything done, the doctor went over. The next day I had back surgery. They cut me pretty much the length of my back and put in 12 screws and 2 rods to help my back. I was in the ICU for about 9 days, and then I was transferred to a hospital closer to home for me. And sorry, my light keeps doing that. But I went to a therapy hospital. Well, it wasn't really therapy, but I went to a hospital for therapy, and I was there for a month. And once I left there, I went to a nursing home because my insurance classified me as plateaued, which basically means that I was not improving, and my insurance didn't want to have to pay for me to be in an acute facility and get the therapy that I really needed, I still need, to help me start walking again. So I was in the nursing home getting therapy for a month as well, and then they sent me home. I got my back brace taken off. I have pictures on my blog that I'll link to below. of me and my back brace. Yay. And basically, I do keep a blog, and so it'll kind of give like a brief skim of this. I'll link below. And basically, now I have moved to live in Tennessee with my mom, and I'm going to a therapy center here. I'm only getting physical therapy now because most of the OT stuff I learned at the nursing home. Basically, I learned how to dress myself, bathe myself, do all that kind of stuff, but I still need to work on my arms and my core strength, and then hopefully we'll be able to start getting me walking. At this point, the only movement I've had is I've had movement in both my toes on both feet, and I have had what I think is slight movement on my right foot, but it's not anything super major. It does, I mean, it's like my toes do this, and they come back. A lot of it is uncontrolled. I do try to think about it, and they do move sometimes. Other times they just move on their own, and that's something that I heard is going to be part of the healing process, but I have started to get feeling back. One of the things that I started getting about a month after my accident is burning in my thighs and my legs and my feet, and I still get that from time to time. That's really, really hard. Or not really hard, but it's like really bad burning sensations, and the doctor told me that could be a good sign because it means that I'm getting some of my feeling nerves back, which I have gained more feeling in my legs. I can feel slight sensations in like my toes and stuff, and that's awesome. That's a really good sign, so keep praying for good signs like that. I also, like I said, I've had the movement, which is also a really good sign. And I'm almost 5 months out of my accident, so I'm not exactly where I think I should be in my progress, but I also realize I'm not a very patient person, so this is going to be a really hard thing for me, and I may never walk again, and if I don't, that's okay. I know that that's what God has planned for me, but I still pray every night that I will walk again, and I want to push myself to that limit. What I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to leave some links below. One of them is to my blog, and blogging has been one of the things that has really kind of helped me deal, I guess you'd say, and it's nice to let people be updated on my progress. It's fun I like writing, I like keeping a blog. I'm really glad that I started to keep a blog because it's something that I'm really thankful I did. And I'm making these videos because so I've watched a lot of spinal cord videos on YouTube, and they helped me. I've met some really cool people online who are going through similar situations, and it's really nice to just be able to talk to people who can kind of relate and understand. And what I'm going to do, I think, next is do like a Q&A video type thing dealing with my injury. So if you have any questions, you can leave a comment below, or message me on Facebook or email me or something like that, and I will definitely answer you. Do not be scared of asking me anything personal, because I know a lot of people have questions, and I know I have questions that I want to ask other people that have spinal cord injuries, but I realize people aren't as open as I am, so if it's something that I don't want to answer publicly, I'll probably just answer you back privately to like a email message or whatever, but I will post some of the FAQ, like frequently asked questions, on my next video. So if you have any questions or things that you want to add, like I said, you can leave a comment below. And I'd also recommend, if you guys would, sharing my video or my blog, so that if you know someone who's had a spinal cord injury or someone who's going through a difficult time in their life, like a life-changing event, I would love to talk to you guys. Like I said, I love talking, I love meeting new people, and I think that's one of the kind of the gifts God gave me, is being able to be so open and being able to talk about things. So even if it has nothing to do with spinal cord injuries, if you're just having a hard time in life, feel free to message me. I love to talk to you guys. But I hope that this video is helping encourage somebody, and I hope that you guys will find inspiration through this. And like I said, message me about anything you have any questions for. So thank you so much for watching.